And now to a shocking update in the case of JonBenet Ramsey, the 6-year-old beauty queen who was found dead on Christmas Day in her home in Colorado. A brand new report reveals that the grand jury in that case had voted to indict both of her parents in the case for child abuse leading to her death. We're going to talk to Dan Abrams about it live in just a moment. But first, ABC's Clayton Sandell has the latest on the story.
It's a murder case 16 years old, still unsolved. In 1996, at Christmas, 6-year-old beauty queen JonBenet Ramsey was found dead in the basement of her family's Boulder, Colorado home. Suspicion fell on her parents, John and Patsy, but they insisted an intruder was to blame.
Mr. Ramsey, did you kill JonBenet?
No, I did not.
Mrs. Ramsey, did you kill your daughter?
No, I did not kill my daughter.
But now ABC News sources confirm that in 1999, a grand jury, after meeting over a year, believed there was enough evidence to indict John and Patsy Ramsey on charges of child abuse resulting in death. The story first appeared in the Boulder Daily Camera. But District Attorney Alex Hunter refused to sign off.
That I and my prosecution task force believe we do not have sufficient evidence to warrant the filing of charges.
The prosecutor believing a conviction would be impossible. Patsy Ramsey died in 2006. John Ramsey remarried, and his attorney tells ABC News that Prosecutor Hunter is a hero who wisely avoided a miscarriage of justice. The case is still officially open, but as in 1996, investigators seem no closer to solving the crime in 2013, the year JonBenet would have turned 23. For Good Morning America, Clayton Sandell, ABC News, Denver.
Let's bring in our GMA legal analyst, Dan Abrams. And, you know, the saying always goes that a grand jury will indict a ham sandwich. The burden of proof is much lower for a grand jury than it would have been for that district attorney having to prosecute the charges in court.
That's right. But still, it seems that the grand jury went for a compromise, doesn't it? Meaning they didn't charge them, but they didn't decide to say this is murder. They said this is abuse which led to the death, which sure sounds to me like a compromise on the part of a grand jury. Ordinarily, you present a case like this to the grand jury, you're going to get a murder case. Now, we don't know exactly what the prosecutor said to the grand jury, meaning we don't know that they said, we want you to indict on murder. My guess is they didn't tell them at all what they wanted them to do. They left it in their hands, and this is what they came up with.
How often does that happen, that a DA gets an indictment for abuse leading to the death or murder, whatever you want to call it, and then chooses to do nothing on it?
Very, very rarely without new evidence coming forward. Meaning you might see this in a case where a grand jury says, you know, hands up an indictment, and then the DA says, well, you know what, some other things have come into play here. As a result, we're not going to move forward. Very rare, because remember, it's the prosecution's decision to bring it to the grand jury.
There was a huge divide within the prosecution's office between prosecutors and police on the guilt or innocence of the Ramsey family. If this had been public, that the grand jury had voted to indict?
This would have put so much pressure on Alex Hunter back in the late 90s to move forward with this case. But I think he gets a lot of credit. I've seen most of that case file in the JonBenet Ramsey case. And I have to tell you, I think that Alex Hunter made the right call then. And I think looking back on it, it's even clearer that he made the right call.
The Ramseys were officially cleared by a subsequent district attorney, but the current DA says he is not bound by that clearance.
Of course. I mean, look, a murder you can continue to investigate, but I think that whoever investigates this case moving forward is not going to be looking at the Ramseys, and my guess is that this case will probably never be solved.
All right. Dan Abrams. Wow. Okay. Thank you so much.